Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Buffalo Bills and their rookie quarterback drafted 7th overall, Josh Allen, as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the...
They are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles.
Get that second win in a row.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Here we go now.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard. It'll be second down.
Here we go now.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Throwing is Allen on third. Left side here, caught by Clay. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And from analyzing them and talking with their defensive coordinator, we know they have a full playbook. So look for them to mix up coverages, pressure one play, fall back the next. They'll do a lot of different things trying to confuse the offense.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here we go. 3-19.
Solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's Holmes. And he's brought down. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I believe I understand where the offense was going there. They just hit a big pass play, thought they could fool them with a run, but maybe they overthought it a little bit. Just hit a nice pass, come back with another one, keep the momentum going.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now Allen shedding into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So the Vikings now heading onto the field. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Let's go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last few games.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They run it again with Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a...
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's not often that you get 19-year-olds that enter the NFL, but this guy is absolutely special. Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech, 6'4", 250-plus pounds, can run like a deer. We just saw his ability to flash and make plays.
His brother Terrell also taken the 1st round. First set of brothers taken in the 1st round of the season. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Forbath, the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you... got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Schmidt on to punt as he sends it away. This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up wanting them.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now Forbath for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out come the Bills. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again, it's McCoy. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Curley's got it complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Colton Schmidt now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This is taken to about the 14. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see it.
So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time Time reading defenses and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Here we go.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Second down, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Room here to run. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go.
Cousins now. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on fourth down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, what a juke into space. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To the air. Allen. Wide open receiver complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and now it's 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bills passing game getting him down the field. They've got another 1st down. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Rhino. Let's go.
Final play of the half. Cousins. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll start our tour with a trip to FedEx Field, where we find Green Bay on the road to take on Washington. And it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Paul Richardson, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. A touchdown run there for Jay Ajayi. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there out of Cook, 74 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing Kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all
down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am. And you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They come out here in the I. Throwing. Cousins. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get them the football back.
4th down, and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise. But how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
All right, here we go. Green!
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taking it about the 36. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Cousins now on 2nd down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Kyle Williams busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Throwing his Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again. Jerry Hughes. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else. Else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They run again on first down. Cook. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 and the 34. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
To throw is Cousins. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now Cousins. That's complete, right around the 8. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
He's going to get it running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Third and goal for Cousins. Flushed out right. He may try and run for touchdown, Minnesota.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Forbath to add the extra point. Forbath, the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bills getting set to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
All right, here we go.
First down, and they're going to throw without him. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. Yeah, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Holmes. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Kentrell Brothers in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Allen. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they didn't get it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Linval Joseph able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. That is caught inside the 5. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. First and goal.
Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Allen. This will be caught just inside the 10. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. It's second and goal back to the 8-yard line now.
Now let's go. Green.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on third down.
Now Allen, gotta have this one. And he's got his tight end Clay. Touchdown, Buffalo. Charles Clay, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills cut into that lead.
And how about that for Josh Allen? His first touchdown pass in the NFL. He had plenty of success while at the University of Wyoming. But when you throw your first touchdown in the league, that's what you've been dreaming of since you were a small child.
One to cherish forever, and you talk about his success. He had 44 touchdown passes in his 2 seasons at Wyoming. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On second down, Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Game. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Now Cousins on 4th down. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get him the football back. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. And under 20 seconds now as the spike comes with 18 ticks remaining. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. The Bills on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Credit the secondary, credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Green, 39.
One final try here for Allen. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. He's picked off near his own 48. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this. Until
and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bills have recovered. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal. Win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Minnesota, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
is how much money you have, the closer your contract proposal is to deciding. Let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Now we're cooking. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Get that second win in a row.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. Short kick. It's taken to the 23. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be quarterbacked by Jared Goff, the third-year man out of Cal and the Novato, California native.
It always comes down to the talent of a player first, but never underestimate what good coaching can do for you as well. How about Jared Goff, 0-7 as a rookie, to 11-4 in an NFC West title in his second season? The arrival of Sean McVay and his staff, they really jumped up his game. 28 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions in 2017.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. The numbers on the ground for Gurley. Last week, 18 carries, 51 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
180.
To throw on second down is gone. And this is incomplete. Gerald Everett is tied in, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
I love watching Todd Gurley play because I think back to when he got drafted and so many people question taking him back that high. Well, you see exactly why. His ability to run, catch, and lead, it's a heck of a combination, and he leads the Rams.
180.
Goff on 3rd down. This is caught as Cooks. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that are best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A gain of 3, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
He's going to get it running right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done...
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make this a 6-point game.
Offside defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their big offseason signing from Michigan State in his 7th year. It's the veteran Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Let's go.
The first carry down for Dalvin Cook. And right away, he lost the football. And the Rams have got it back. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. Give him 30 yards there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Connor Barwin in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always
looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. So possession changes hands on the final. After the interception, here's Goff. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And on second down, this is Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And now out comes Minnesota. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll got his man complete. A gain of 39 that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's no quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game at the end.
He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? take care of it rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackles.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now it's Gurley. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Out left, he's got it to Everett. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first and goal, Gurley looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah,
and the Rams got him. They bring him down. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Flush to his right. And he's got room. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you had.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Goff. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, they can put him in a number of different places. In line, H-back, put him in the slot. In this case, they put him out wide. Matchup nightmare. Who are you going to send out to cover him? And he picks up the 1st down with that catch.
And they're able to get this one down to the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. On 1st down, it's gone. And this is caught at the 8. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Goff throwing again. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. A final shot before break here. Gone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, as time expires in the 1st half. And the Rams add on to their lead. So we come upon halftime here. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And that 1st half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm and really think of short passes.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.